I mean, we have a precedent. We have the 1980 case of the Great Sioux Nation versus the United States, in which the United States Supreme Court ruled that it was clear that the taking of the land that took place in 1897,
right,
in fact, was completely illegal.
Right.
The problem
that's already gone to the Supreme
the
Court.
problem was that was undertaken by the Oceti Sakowin, and they had the burden of proof. They met the burden of proof. The problem is that the government then said, okay, then we'll consider our having taken it by eminent domain, and we just need to pay you for it. How much do you want? And the people said, we don't want anything. We want the land. It was illegally taken. And they said, no, that's not how this goes. We just pay you money. You know, we print the money up and give it to you.
And then you go away, right?
They said, no. And that's the way it stands since 1980. But in this particular context, if the bad guys are making the move and saying you're on property you're not allowed to be on, then we say, well, that's a question of law. You know, this is our land. The fact that you illegally took it doesn't give you the right to make a decision. You give someone the permission to come and drill a hole in it, you know, and so that therefore you're charging us with the criminal offenses of trespassing. So we're saying we're not guilty of that because this is our land.
Right.
And then you put that fact question to the jury.
I get it.
And so the jury can then find that there was reasonable grounds to believe that you believed this was your land and you had a right to be on it.
And what about, again, I'm a layman, but what about an injunction given that they're proceeding without permits?
Well, that's the problem again. No, thank you. But the problem is that then if you go forward, you have the burden of proof.
I see.
And so what you need to do is get yourself in a position where they have the burden of proof.
Right.
Okay. And so that's usually when they try to charge you with trespassing or doing something like that.
Right.
Now they have brought an action that they've been goaded into taking action where they filed on Thursday the 14th, the pipeline access people, they filed a thing asking for a federal court to issue a declaratory judgment that they had an easement. Not because the certificate of easement had been given to them, which is an easy question fact that hasn't been established.
Right.
But they're arguing it was implied by all the previous agreements that the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers made, saying yes, you can do it. We're going to make sure you get everything that you need to do it. And blah blah blah. They haven't given them the easement yet, but they're arguing that they've in effect agreed to
it's
an implied easement.
That's a very interesting. So an implied easement as if you drove across someone's property for 7 years. That kind of implied easement, or
no, a little bit different because the problem is they've got two of the major U.S. Army Corps of Engineers officials have sent them emails saying, you know, oh yes, you have the easement, but it's just a matter of getting the formal certificate to you. But they haven't done that yet. And so the Justice Department, because of all the political pressure, is saying, oh yeah, no, we haven't given you the certificate yet, so you know you don't have the right to come on here yet. And so that the advantage is that they attacked on Sunday night and started pouring water on everybody and all that kind of stuff, without having the color of law on their side. Right. You know, so our people had the color of law on our side. Right. And so we're trying to maintain that. But this judge, Bailesberg, his name is B-A-O-U-B-E-R-G, Bailesberg is getting probably ready to rule that they have effectively an easement. And then it's in the fan right then. Then it's going to start because they're going to start trying to drill. And people have to just sort of confront them. That's why it's good to have so many people here, because the key is just to keep filling up their jails. Fill up the jails, fill up their time, fill up their administrative time and energy. You know, they have to process all those people. They have to follow the due process of law. And so that we just have to overwhelm them with numbers right now. I mean, that's what we did in the Vietnam War. They just couldn't arrest everybody for refusing to come and serve, and so they didn't know what to do. You know, in the same way we did it at Seabrook. We did it at the Black Fox in Oklahoma. We put so many people on the site that they couldn't process them all. Right. And then they just said, this isn't worth it. You know, it's just too big an administrative hassle. And that's what this has to be. Right. Now, Trump, we don't know. He's a little fanatical, and he views.
But there's a long time between now and January 20th.
Yeah, well, that's right. That's right. So we just have to see what's going to happen here.
Cool.
You know, but in the meantime, we have to get back to the site gang. Because we got to meet with Artie, and we got to get we have to get everybody notified to be up and at 'em here at the site by 8 o'clock.
Okay.
to position the buses.
Okay.
We got a site up by the legal office up there that we got to get into.
Okay, so Mark, okay, I'm going to change subjects.
Besides, you go to. I'll take you to the buffet.
Mark, I just want to the plan on the hotel rooms. I want to double confirm.